Then again.
Yes, come on, everybody. We are here.
Ready to roll?
I can't be no more ready than I am right now.
All right, let's go. And 3, 2, 1.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to Good and Crazy News, everybody. My name is Aki. I have a special guest in the building. His name is Trey, my producer. He's going to be running through these stories with me, trying to have a little bit of fun while we talk about some great stories and some foolishness at the same time. I want to start off and talk to y'all about what I did this weekend. My phone is going off. Let me turn this thing off. Yo, these people are bugging out. They wait till I get on the air and just start sending me all of these messages. All right, let me see.
Somebody
volume down. Huh?
Somebody blowing you up over there.
I know, like, for real. Let that go. Let it go. All right, what I did this weekend, you guys, I hung out with my two favorite people, my mom and my nephew, and we went to go see Doctor Strange, the multiverse. I'm not a really big movie person, but that movie was so amazing, man. Listen, if y'all haven't seen this Doctor Strange, and guess what? They're not even paying me to say this. If you haven't seen Doctor Strange, please make your way to the movie theater to go see that. Take your loved ones. If you got a bootleg service, it's probably already up on that at the house. But at least make sure you got a decent speaker system. Oh, Trey, have you seen it?
I have not seen it.
No? Dude, it's an amazing movie. The girl that's one of the people in the movie, her name is America, and she's Hispanic. These movies always be trying to do the most when it comes to these characters and shit. You gotta watch it. It's really good. Man, yesterday I went to this brunch. After you came over, actually, I went to a brunch that, a bunch of sisters was throwing. Man, that brunch was off the chain, man. It was so great to see all of these wonderful black people out there doing their thing and making stuff happen here in San Antonio and all over Texas, for that matter. It was great. What you do?
I went home and worked on this podcast. That's what producers do, right?
You had worked on this show?
Definitely.
That's what you're supposed to do, right?
Definitely.
Yeah. I got some plants in the background today. Y'all see those plants? Yeah. Let's go ahead and get to these stories. Listen, this story has been covered, but you know what? I want to cover it again because it's a great story. A pilot goes down on his airplane from Bermuda or from the Bahamas to Miami, and a passenger had to take over having no idea how to fly a plane. Did you hear about this story?
I heard about it a little bit.
Well, apparently, a passenger with no flying experience radioed an urgent plea for help when the pilot of a small plane suddenly fell ill off Florida's Atlantic coast and was able to, and the passenger was able to land the plane safely, just going from air traffic controllers, what they was telling him. That's amazing. Could you imagine, this is like straight out of some movie shit, You're flying along in the airplane. Next thing you know, your pilot. First of all, why do they only have one pilot? I thought the planes are always supposed to have two pilots just in case some stuff like this happens, so the other person can land the plane. I would never get on a plane with one pilot. Would you?
Well, this is one of those single-engine planes, so it probably was like a little private flight or a jet or something like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, these stories right here are the reason why black people don't like to fly it. These are the exact stories. It never happened, but when they do, somebody, auntie or uncle, something like that, always bring them up.
But you know what though? This guy, I gotta give him props. You know what he said? He said he had to see his pregnant wife as the reason why he was able to stay calm and land the plane. I think that's pretty amazing.
No, it's definitely.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna learn how to slow down today. You know what? Because guess what? I'm already on the next story. And what are we? 2 minutes in?
Let's roll.
Oh God, you guys, this story, it has so many layers, but I want to talk about it because I think it's really important. The United States reaches deal to reopen shuttered baby formula plant. It says on Monday, U.S. officials reached an agreement to allow baby formula maker Abbot Labs to restart its largest domestic factory, though it would be 2 months or 3 months or more before any products even come from this. You know what? I have to stop right here. This is a really, really, really sad story for me. And the reason why it's sad is because, right now they're attacking women. They don't want them to have abortions, this and that. They don't even want them to have contraception. Now, all of a sudden, one of the largest baby formula manufacturers in the whole entire country, all of a sudden doesn't have any formula. What do you think they're trying to tell women? Feed your own damn baby. Feed your own baby. Right? That's what it sounds like to me after they're going after Roe v. Wade and all this kind of stuff like that, right? Trey, what do you think?
I think it could be a message. I just don't like how they try to make everything political. So you have this one thing where you got this plant that gets offline because they had some bacteria or some stuff that get into the formula, so they had to do a recall. Now all of a sudden they turn into political where, hey, we send a formula to the border, but we're not feeding our own families and stuff like that. So that's the thing that bothers me. So not only do they make it political that way, but then you're right, it's like they're attacking women on both sides.
Now they're gonna tell women no contraception. That's what they're telling them next. You know that, right?
It's on the way.
It's crazy. Let me just finish this. Under the agreement, Abbott must work with outside experts to upgrade its standards and reduce bacterial contamination at the Sturgis, Michigan facility, which the Food and Drug Administration has been investigating. They have been investigating it. What are they investigating it for since early this year?
Well, see, the problem is that there's only about 4 major people that make formula.
Yeah.
So when you take one of them offline, you get a chunk of the formula off the shelves.
For sure. I gotta stop using that word on here. That's crazy, right?
For sure.
Lord, people, women can't catch a break. Gay people can't catch a break. Trans people can't catch a break. You know, I heard, you might want to fact check me on this, but I heard that they're coming after Loving versus Virginia next. You know about that, right? That's where they're going to outlaw interracial marriages again. Crazy. Y'all, these people are too late doing this. The next story is about McDonald's, y'all.
I'm loving it.
Guess what? I only try to eat the fries these days. You know what? Sometimes I get a hankering for McDonald's and I go and I'm just like, just let me get a McDouble and some fries. You know what I'm saying? And you take the fries and you put it in that McDouble and then you smash it down and then you go to eat it and it tastes so freaking good, but you know it's bad for you. And then when it hits your gut, your intestine, you're like, oh, here it is. It's moving its way through. You can feel it moving through like a snake. But anyway, McDonald's is closing its doors in Russia, ending an era of optimism and increasing the country's isolation over its war with Ukraine. The Chicago burger giant confirmed Monday that it is selling its 850 restaurants in Russia. McDonald's said it was seek a buyer who will employ its 62,000 workers in Russia. What does that mean? Does that mean that actually they selling them to a franchisee who's actually going to keep the stores named as McDonald's? That's what it looks like to me. Right? Let me read that again. It's selling its 850 restaurants in Russia. McDonald's said it will seek a buyer who will employ its 62,000 workers in Russia. I mean, who is that going to be? You know?
Who knows?
Who knows?
I know they closed the doors in Russia. That part I do know.
Sorry, Russia. Y'all, this is too much going on. Let me move on to the next story. Y'all. See, now this is something that's going to get a lot of conversation going. Y'all, drop that in the comment section on this particular story right here. This is a huge one. And it's so amazing to me how the GOP is all of a sudden against doing this when they were for it all along. This is crazy. With echoes of Trump, GOP splinters over, $40 billion for Ukraine. Now, as an American, I'm sorry, we're going through enough over here. I can't tell who the embargoes is against. They say they put it against Russia, but I'm feeling it over here. I feel it in my gas tank. When I look at my 401k, I'm like, Lord have mercy, what's happening here? You know what I mean? Like, who is it really hurting? Supply chain is messed up. Everything in America is going up. Why do we need to keep paying more money to back Ukraine with their war with Russia? Let me just go ahead and say what it says here. The Washington Associated Press says signs of Republican resistance are mounting over the $40 billion aid package to Ukraine. A reemerging of the Trump-led isolationist wing of the GOP that's coming at a crucial moment as the war against Russia invasion deepens. The Senate is expected to start voting on Monday on Ukraine aid, pushing the bill towards the President Joe Biden's desk by the end of the week. This is what's funny, y'all. It comes as Senate Republican leader Mitch McConnell and his delegators of the GOP senators to visit the region over the weekend. Listen, students in America need loan forgiveness, Joe Biden. You already said you're going to do that. You're not doing it. What's up? You know, I think it's good news that the GOP doesn't want to give Ukraine any more money. We need resources here in this country. We can't. I just read a story. We can't even feed our babies. But yet we want to give $40 billion to Ukraine for what? What do you think, Trey? I should have drank coffee instead of beer before the show. Because I
think you're pretty hyped to me. I think you're pretty hyped. No, there's a lot of irony in this story.
Yeah, for sure.
No, a few years ago, there was this thing with Donald Trump, and he was trying to leverage Ukraine to give him information about Hunter Biden. Now, Russia! The Ukrainian president went to Biden to get support from the United States before this whole Russia thing even started. But instead of giving support, Trump tried to blackmail him into getting information out for Joe Biden. So technically, if we would have gave them support before this, then your 401k would probably be good, and gas prices would probably be good, and the supply chain would probably be good right now. Because this whole war with Ukraine probably could have been avoided had we had a real president 3 years ago.
He said what he said, and he ain't changing it. That's Trey for you right there. Next story. Let's move along. Moving right along. Let's go. Y'all, oh my God. This is just nuts. Okay? Sandy Hook lawsuit against Alex Jones on track to resume. You know what? Put him under the jail already. Silence him. That man is crazy. The Sandy Hook family's lawsuit against InfoWars host and conspiracy theorist Alex Jones for calling the 2012 Newton school shooting a hoax appears to be poised to resume soon, based on the agreements revealed Friday in a bankruptcy case in some of Jones' companies. Listen, Alex Jones, dude, man, listen. How dare you say that Sandy Hook was fake? How dare you? And you know what? On top of that, I knew in this country that gun laws were not going to change when you can kill 26 children and nothing happens. What do you think about this story, Trey?
I think the continuation of it is what you saw in Buffalo. Is that there's a certain party in America who will leverage anything, you know, to continue to pander to their base. And they'll make their base fear people that look different than them or come from different ethnicities or cultures than them. And so there's a group of people who really isolated themselves and feel like they're attacked. And when they feel like they're attacked, then, you know, they go get their AR-15s and they go and
do what they think they have to do.
Exactly.
But you know what though? At the same time, we need to wake up on our side. You know why? Because all of those people, all those crazy people that we're talking about right now, they're voting. They're registered to vote. And they are going to the polls for the primaries, for the midterms, for the general. They're going to be right there.
But you want to know something a little bit different about that, though, because you brought up a good topic that they are voting. And I think there's two things that happen with the Democratic Party is that a lot of us get into the woe is me, you know, things aren't perfect.
My vote don't count.
My vote don't count. Who cares?
Martin Luther King didn't do nothing for black people.
In the meantime, what happened was when Obama got in office and there was a racist wing of the Republican Party, right? They didn't sit on their laurels. They went and voted out half of their own Republicans. They created a little Tea Party. They voted out the Republicans and they put people in like Ted Cruz. Lindsey Graham.
Oh, Lord Jesus.
And this was 6 years ago.
And Cotton of Congress himself, Tim Scott.
Yeah. But let's see, what happened was all those guys were just freshman senators at the time. Now they're seniors and they know how to play the game. And that's how you see what happened when Roe versus Wade happened. Because now they know what they're doing.
Because they have Mitch McConnell up there saying and doing whatever he feels like he needs to do in order to keep the GOP in power. Because that's the main goal. Right?
Right.
I can be mad at Mitch, but at the same time, we need to do the same thing. So all of y'all out there, if you don't like the way the country's rolling, go run for office. Like Stacey Abrams. Just come out of nowhere
and make it happen.
And drive the bus.
But you know what though, Trey? I want to tell you this about that too, because I hear what you're saying and I hear it a lot. But this is what I want to say. That, you know what? The reason why the Democrats are so bad at messaging compared to the Republicans, I'm going to tell you why. Because you have to be maniacal in order to think like a Republican, because they know they don't have anything. So they sitting back like this in their meetings going, oh, what we gonna do now? Because, you know, you got to be evil to do stuff like that. Let's redraw the lines. Listen, Democrats at this point are trying to be progressive. They ain't got time to be sitting down. We have the numbers. We just need to go out there and make it happen.
Period.
That part. Next. I got this story just for you, Trey. Just for you. Okay, listen to this, y'all. Y'all know I love individual sports. I'm not a big team sports person. I'm not. But one of my producers, Trey, let me tell you something. Yesterday, he was showing me all these videos and all of them was about sports. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to pull some sports in and let Trey go off on this. Okay, because I know he got something to say. And let me tell you what's going on here. The Browns quarterback Watson to meet with NFL reps in Texas. NFL officials will meet this week with Cleveland Browns quarterback Deshaun Watson as the league continues to investigate whether he violated its personal conduct policy. A person familiar with the plans told the Associated Press on Monday. Let me just read this next part and I'm going to let you jump in because I know you're ready. Watson, who is facing 22 civil lawsuits from massage therapists accusing him of sexual misconduct, is scheduled to speak with the league's representatives in Texas, says the person who spoke for the AP. Now, let me ask you this. Didn't a whole bunch of people get caught doing the same type of shit in Miami like 2 years ago or something like that? Like one of the team owners and stuff like that? Like, why are they singling him out for going to massage parlors? Is there a problem here? I don't know. You tell me. Come on.
It's kind of a really deep story, and I don't know if we'd be able to cover it all in this episode. Because there's so many different layers to this. But you're right. Robert Kraft, the owner of the New England Patriots, did go down to Florida. He flew a private jet all the way down to Florida.
In a Bentley.
Just to get a massage with a happy ending.
That's some desperation right there.
Now, the Deshaun Watson situation is a little bit different because the Houston Texans are known as just a bad organization, and their previous owner was a racist. He was one of the owners that attacked his players for taking a knee. So they got rid of J.J. Watt, they got rid of DeAndre Hopkins. So Watson didn't want to be there anymore. Then all of a sudden, all of these massage therapists just start popping up out of nowhere.
Complaining, like filing lawsuits?
Just out of nowhere. One lawsuit.
Well, wasn't he paying for the massages?
Oh yeah, he was paying for massages, but it was about the fact that, like, how did he find these massage therapists?
Well, you know what I know. If you know what I know, I'm quite sure there's always a place online where you can figure out all these types of places.
Instagram.
OnlyFans. All types of places you can find out this information. I'm like, y'all need to go sit down. I don't even think this is really a story.
It is a story, but it's very weird because it's going to be one of those situations in which Deshaun asks for. He has this thing for getting Swedish massages.
Okay, now what's the difference between the Swedish massage and like the Korean ones that they pass out that everybody gets a happy endings to? The Swedish girls they give happy endings to?
So the Swedish massages are naked massages where the ladies rub your buttocks.
And they're naked, or the guys?
The guys are naked.
Okay.
Now,
I thought you were naked when you got a massage. Like, I'm still missing it.
Well, not in America.
Oh, okay.
In the rest of the world, you are. In America, you're supposed to be covered up, yada yada yada. Unless it's Swedish, that's why they call it Swedish, because that's not American.
Oh, that's your pass to get naked.
So he would ask them on Instagram, "Hey, do you do Swedish massage?" And they would say, "Yeah." And so he was expecting to get those type of services. Months later, when they see an opportunity they can sue him and get some money out of it, next thing you know, they're all filing lawsuits against him.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
So they investigated it. The Harris County, which is for Houston,
yeah,
they just found that he didn't break any rules. Another county decided that he didn't break any laws there, and so now he sat out a whole year in the NFL. They traded him to the Browns, and now the NFL is going to decide that they're going to punish him for getting a massage.
they need to go sit down, let that man get do whatever he want to do. That's so lame. I mean, it's a victimless crime. You know what I mean?
It's a little creepy.
There's no victim.
He clearly has a fetish.
Yeah. Okay, listen, Deshaun, I got some advice for you. Next time you want a Swedish massage, you just call your girls and tell them to come to your house instead of you going to their place. That way you can control everything and don't have to worry about them coming with lawsuits, because you can say, guess what, girl, I got you on camera.
Don't play Deshaun like that. He had him sign non-disclosure agreements before he did the massage.
And he still got messed up?
Yes.
Deshaun, I hope you're not married. Is he married?
He has an Instagram model for a girlfriend too.
Deshaun, I don't know you, but do you? Y'all, this next story touches my heart so much. I love it. 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 Y'all don't know this about me, but I used to win free haircuts from my barber because I used to whoop his behind at Miss Pac-Man at the barbershop, y'all. The highest I think I ever got was 325,000 points. I think the level, I can't even remember what level I was on, but it was to the point where, you play Miss Pac-Man and you put your arm up like this and you really get into it. I was one of those. Miss Pac-Man clears path to World Hall of Fame for video games, everybody. This is such an exciting story. I mean, I remember playing Miss Pac-Man when I was a kid, going to the pizzeria in the Bronx and putting my quarter in the machine and just, seeing how long I could last without somebody else being able to come up and put their quarter in next to me, Did you like playing Miss Pac-Man?
Miss Pac-Man was cool. It was a little bit before my time. But it was cool.
You 17 now?
A little bit older, but not much.
Let me get into the story. More than 40 years after blazing a trail of female video game characters, Miss Pac-Man was inducted Thursday into the World Video Game Hall of Fame, along with Dance Dance Revolution, The Legend of Zelda, which I used to play that game, but not that much. Ocarina of the Time and Sid Meier's Civilization. I never heard of those games. The Miss Pac-Man arcade game was released in 1981 as Midway's follow-up to Pac-Man, which entered into the Hall of Fame as part of his inaugural group in 2015. Miss Pac-Man actually sold over 125,000 cabinets of the game in the first 5 years, and it was one of the best-selling arcade games of all time. You know what? I even have Miss Pac-Man on my desktop right now. I don't even have a joystick. I just use the arrow buttons, and I get pretty far. I get to like Junior 2, just using those 4 keys on my keyboard. Who else loves Miss Pac-Man? Yo, drop down in the comments and let me know about Miss Pac-Man. Yo, guess what? I only like the fast Miss Pac-Man. I don't like the slow one. Because the slow one, it takes time to build up to being fast. But I like the one that, the Miss Pac-Man that comes out the gate fast. I love that one. Do you like that one too, Trey?
Oh yeah, that was the main difference between Pac-Man and Miss Pac-Man. Pac-Man was always slow.
Pac-Man was always slow. I had it to the point where I used to be able to go to the arcade and they had the dip switches in the back of the game where you could switch it from slow to fast. I used to do that. Am I aging myself when I say that? Am I showing people how old I really am?
think you tell everybody you cheated to get those 300,000 points.
No, I did. I was a grown man when that happened. I was not a kid. Congratulations to Miss Pac-Man. We love you. Next. Y'all listen. There's always going to be a foolish story that comes up that is so crazy and out of pocket. Y'all. Lord have mercy. I don't even know how to start talking about this story. It's so stupid. Well, it depends on, I don't know, on who you are or whatever, but to me it's a dumb story. Alright, this is one of the crazy stories for today, y'all. Listen, an Indian couple longing for a grandchild sues their son and his wife. A retired Indian couple is suing their son and daughter-in-law, demanding that they produce a grandchild within 1 year or pay them 50 million rupees. That's equal to $675,000. Do you think that's a legit threat you should be telling your son and his daughter? Like, look, we getting old, like, we need some grandkids or we're going to sue your ass. You think that's appropriate, Trey?
I just want to know if rupees are related to herpes.
You think if one derives from the other? You want to know?
It's a lot of rupees, like 3.5 million of them.
No, it says 50 million. 50 million rupees is equal to $675,000. That's how much they're going to sue for if they don't get a grandbaby in 1 year.
So they trying to bankrupt the kids, so they really can't. You ain't gonna do nothing but make kids in order to get on welfare.
Yeah, look, he feels entitled. You know why? He's entitled because he says, Prasad said he spent 3.5 million rupees, $47,000 in American money, for his son's pilot license in the United States. So now you are hijacking your son to pay you because you paid $47,000 for him to go to school. Hey everybody, guess what? We back. We had a little bit of technical difficulties, you know what? But guess what? We some troopers over here. Ain't nothing gonna stop us. We gonna keep it moving. We was talking about the Indian couple longing for grandchildren, and they sue his son and their wife. That's a crazy story, but you know what? We talked about it enough. We're gonna move on because guess what? We're almost near the end of the show. Y'all, this is a cute story. I wish I had a picture of this giraffe because it's so cute. Okay, the story says, bracing for the future. Baby giraffe is fitted with orthotics. Okay. Over the past 3 decades, our Miziara has been fitted braces for everyone from from paralyzed children to socialites. Anyway, this calf was born February 1st at the San Diego Zoo Safari Park in Escondido in North San Diego. With her front limb bending the wrong way, the safari gave her orthotic. So she can be able to stand up, a giraffe. Isn't that great?
It's definitely great that she's able to stand.
Yeah. You know what? Greg Abbott, this story's for you. Maybe you need to go to the San Diego Zoo in California and get fitted with some orthotics instead of sitting around here worried about what women need to do with their bodies. See, because if you went to the zoo, you can get fitted with some orthotics and therefore you can stand up out of your wheelchair and really tell the people what you need for them to do, which is take care of their bodies the same way you should be taking care of yours.
Maybe he could take care of this power grid too.
Yeah, you got a lot of stuff to do, Greg Abbott. Instead of telling women they can't use contraceptives and telling women they can't have abortions, you need to focus on technology and go to the zoo in San Francisco and get fitted with your orthotics. Because guess what? I'm quite sure if they could do a giraffe and make a big giant giraffe stand up for the first time, they can do it for you too. Y'all, we almost had into the show. This is actually a breaking story. A Lyft driver gives a couple the boot after racist comments. Y'all, I watched the video several times. I'm going to tell you what happened. So he pulls up. He's like, hey, the people get in the car. They're like, oh my God, just a regular white person's going to be driving us around. You do speak English, right? He's like, yeah, I speak English. They're like, oh my God, just a regular white person. We are so happy to have you. You know what he said? He said, get the F out my car right now because you're being racist. Come to find out they own a restaurant called Fossil's Last Stand in Castacaqua, Pennsylvania. Go ahead.
I give you bonus points for pronouncing that name correctly.
That was right?
Yeah, that sounds good.
Hey! So listen, this is what allyship looks like. This is what allyship looks like. You gotta have people that call out racism right on the spot when it happens. You can't wait and sit in the background. No, people get in your car, they think just because you white and they white, they can say, oh yeah, you speak English. That's great. We don't have to worry about having no... see, I was about to say something racist. You know, we don't have to worry about no Muslim driving us around and this and that. These people own a restaurant. Y'all need to go on Yelp and just say what you need to say about these people. Fossil's Last Stand in Pennsylvania. Okay? The driver called the racist couple, the driver called the couple racist, and then the guy turns around and calls the driver an N-word lover. Straight out of Dave Chappelle.
Except he would have said it.
Huh?
Except he would have said it.
For sure. Y'all, you know, we got to do better in this country, man. We got to do better. The good news is, out of this story, is that he had the fortitude to put his own like people out. And then when they got out the car, they had the nerve to kick his car. And he said, you know what? I'm not going nowhere. I'm calling the cops.
What a privilege.
For sure. Oh, Lord, you guys. This is like an older story, but I had to come back to it. This is the last story of the night, so y'all just hold on, okay? I know it's not up on the screen. I know that, but this is so hilarious, y'all. Y'all gonna be like, what? Then after this, we're gonna have to go. But right now, a woman got rescued after falling in a toilet trying to get her phone. Now, y'all know the AP tried to make this sound funny because it's like, how do you fall in the toilet? Guess what? That's not what happened. She was in the forest somewhere, okay? And she decided, it was an outhouse. She decided she's going to take the toilet apart because she dropped her phone in the toilet. And then guess what? She took her belt and tried to wrap her belt around her cell phone to get it out of there. Now, let me ask you this. If you reach down in the toilet to try to, in the outhouse to try to get your phone, how do you tighten up the belt around the phone after you get it around there? Have you thought about that? Then it says, after she tried to do that, that effort failed and she fell in the toilet head first. The woman was alone and tried to get out of the toilet for 10 to 15 minutes. When she got reunited with her phone, she dialed 911. Okay, now let me ask you this. Now, do you think that since she already fell in the toilet head first, you know she was probably covered from top to bottom and whatever? Trey, do you think that she was like forget it and put the phone up to her head, or you think she had the wherewithal to use a speakerphone to call 911?
Hopefully she used Alexa.
I don't think she did for some reason.
Siri, somebody. I hope she used Siri.
After you fall in the outhouse head first and you get your phone and you covered in all that stuff, it's like, I don't know.
She definitely had the phone up to her ear.
Well, you guys, that's it for good and crazy news, you guys. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. I love you guys so much. Love is an action word. I want you guys to take care, hug your family, kiss your family and your friends. Get rid of all your haters that are around you. If you have any haters, get rid of them, or at the very least, just ignore them and move on with your life, you guys. I love y'all. I'll see y'all next week. Peace.